side of town. Just right now, moving through Cove Springs, Ironton, and Craft, just about to move into Craft. Otherwise, we probably have a little bit of light rain already at New Summerfield and over toward Blackjack. At least the dark clouds have arrived. But at Hume, we're starting to get into that heavier rain. I'll zoom down just a little bit farther in, and you can see South Bolton now just about ready to get into that rain. It's raining pretty heavily at County Road 3305 and County Road 3201. I'll widen back out toward Ironton, where the lightning is increasing within this storm at this time. Go down Highway 79, and now we get back to our Titan indicator, and our Titan indicator is telling us we have a strengthening updraft and the possibility of seeing some hail within this cell. And so, in fact, it looks like it may have just come down a little bit, but what I want to do is take a look at that hail core, because this is the reason for the severe thunderstorm warning tonight. It's really all about the hail. Of course, lightning is always dangerous, even if you don't have a severe thunderstorm wind, but you have plenty of lightning, then you have to be concerned about lightning possibly causing injury or death. But you can see a lot of lightning around Todd City. The lightning has increased back toward Natchez, and the hail core itself is going to be right here where 79 meets County Road 3212, just to the southeast of Todd City. So let's take a look at that hail core. I've got the hail tracker turned on, and it does look like we've got some nickel to quarter sized hail ready to move on County Road 3212. So if you live in that area, please make sure you've got your car under cover. Anything that could be damaged by a hailstone the size of perhaps a nickel or a quarter, you'll want to take the precaution there. Again, that is going to be just west of Ironton right now, 3212, County Road 3212, County Road 3207, just south of Todd City along Highway 79, just to the east of Natchez. If anyone can take a photo, safely take that photo, or if you've seen some of that hail come through your area, please drop that in our Facebook comments or email the station at weather@cbs19.com. We are on our Facebook channel, as we said. We are tracking and monitoring anyone who may have a question about the storms tonight. We won't stay on consistently until we start to see more storms form. We're also on our YouTube channel, streaming there, and also on, of course, CBS 19 Plus. So we're probably interrupting some programming over there to bring this update. If this storm were to turn tornadic, or if these hailstones were to become quite large in the order of, say, golf ball or tennis ball size, we would break in to programming on CBS 19. But for the time, we're going to continue to stream. I'll go back to our main radar here, and as we go back to the radar, it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning has now been pushed out back toward New Summerfield, Mount Selman, and of course Jacksonville is in the path of this storm. So we do have the heavy thunderstorm west of Jacksonville. I'll put a track on this for us as it continues to move to the east. Roughly, let's check on that speed from the National Weather Service at Shreveport, indicating a speed of about 25 to 30 miles an hour on that cell. So as I take the hail core, we'll take it from where that hail is back there toward Todd City on Highway 79, track that out to the east. We'll put this at 30 miles an hour. So where is that headed? Well, as it heads east to northeast, Ironton, of course, would be the first city up at about 7:08, Hume at 7:14, into the city of Jacksonville. Now, the rain and the thunder and the rain and the lightning is going to arrive in Jacksonville before then. But if you get into that hail core, that's going to be about 7:21, Mediate about 7:26, New Summerfield around 7:41, and then Pleasant Grove just before 8 p.m. as that storm continues moving northeastward at about 30 miles an hour. Wipe things off of there. The hail core itself has come down just a little bit. The strengthening updraft is also weakened just a little bit. All right, I'm going to widen it all out here so we get a good perspective of what's going on. That is the sole thunderstorm in East Texas right now, down towards Centerville. But the thunderstorm by itself, sitting out there in the environment, the one that was able to break the cap so far this evening, has been that thunderstorm in western Cherokee County. You can see how rapidly it's moving, and if you look carefully, you can tell that it is a rotating supercell. Questions are, will it split? Will there be two cells? Or will it sort of eat up the air around that environment, perhaps breaking some of that energy that we had today? And then if it can sustain itself, it would move across southern Rusk County and also into Panola County. I want to look outside here, and you can see some of the larger tops of the thunderstorms finally starting to be able to penetrate upper levels of the atmosphere. We had a cap on the atmosphere earlier today, or a lid. So what is that? Well, remember this. Any basic principle of meteorology is that warm air is light. Warm air rises. It cools as it rises. As it rises, it cools and condenses into clouds. But if there is a warm layer aloft or warmer air, the cloud will stop growing once it gets to that level. And if it can, and this is what was happening earlier today, it was essentially in this level here. But now you're starting to see those clouds growing up vertically above that warmer layer. So the atmosphere is starting to cool, allowing the thunderstorms to grow higher and to strengthen. And at the same time, we have just enough wind to perhaps organize what we would call the updraft. And if it can tilt, well, then we've got cooler air that would also rush down behind it. It can funnel or fuel into the thunderstorm, and that can sustain the thunderstorm and keep it going. So this thunderstorm may be able to make it all the way across Rusk County. In the meantime, it's 81 degrees in Tyler. The dew point's at 66 degrees, so we have some very juicy air out there supporting these thunderstorms this evening. And most of the area, if not all of the area, currently under a severe thunderstorm watch. Part of the area, let's say from Henderson County through the northern half of Smith County up to Gregg County, essentially the I-20 corridor. To the north, you've got a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. Palestine, Jacksonville, Cherokee County, Rusk County, I believe Panola and Shelby County point southward all the way towards Sabine County. Now you have a severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. So it's kind of been broken up into two parts. But right now, again, that only cell is currently sitting just in Jacksonville. Okay, just had a question from Bobby about anything coming to Rusk, Texas. So I'll go back. Just want to go one more graphic forward here. The threat tonight in those areas shaded, and we saw this a few weeks back. The Storm Prediction Center put East Texas in this threat with a hatched threat of large hail. In this instance, it's up to as much as a 30% chance of seeing some egg-sized hail. So you go to the grocery store, you buy eggs in a carton about that size, so about 2 inches in diameter. Otherwise, the yellow, it's about a 10 to 15% chance of seeing that large hail of that size. All right, so let me get back to Bobby's question about Rusk, Texas. To do that, I've just got to back up through everything because I want to go back to the original cell that we are tracking, and that's going to be here. Again, that cell's rotating. Not a ton of concern right now for a rotation that it would turn into a tornado. As I say that, I'm going to circle something here that you might see and say, well, that looks like a hook echo, right? Well, perhaps not. This could be what we call an artifact. It could be what is termed a three-body scatter strike, because if there's hail inside of that storm, then we could have the situation. Yeah, the hail is getting a little bit bigger. It looks like it's getting up to $half to golf ball sized hail. So essentially, the radar beam is shooting out from Shreveport. It's hitting those hailstones. Some of that goes back to the radar site in Shreveport, but then some of it gets directed down or out to the west. And so it gives us that appearance that there could be a hook echo on that. And I have a feeling right now, I'll confirm that by looking at the wind. I have a feeling, though, what we're really looking at is just a artifact or a false echo coming off of that hail core. But it's the hail core currently that is of concern. By the way, Bobby, Rusk, you are outside of that severe thunderstorm portion of the storm. It looks like that cell is going to stay north of Rusk at this time. Let me go in and check the winds out. Again, a little bit of rotation in that, nothing too serious right now. But again, if you have an updraft that's rotating, you're going to get larger hailstones, and that will be the case there. All right, so we'll go back to the original thunderstorm. So the southern end of this thunderstorm is probably going to brush by Rusk, but that hail core itself, and I'll go back to the hail core so that we can track that hail core for us. Right here, southwest of Jacksonville toward Ironton. We said Ironton was in the path of some hailstones. Those hailstones are $half sized, at least estimated by radar, and could be approaching golf ball sized hail. So large hail is the big threat tonight. Right now, Tyler, Texas, anything coming to Tyler, Texas? You know, Larry Wayne, it doesn't look like we're going to see much in Tyler. There may be some showers that form along the front later on tonight, but most of the activity is likely going to be south of Interstate 20, south of Tyler. I don't know if you saw a graphic that I put out on Facebook a little while ago. I circled an area where the high resolution data was pointing toward most of the thunderstorms forming. So what I think here, I'll put this into motion and then I'll zoom this in just a little bit and then stop it. Notice how this is one supercell moving across eastern Anderson County, moving out of Anderson County right now and into Cherokee County. All right, so the movement on that storm, if you noticed, was essentially east to southeast, a little bit of a right-hand turner. So at 30 miles an hour, it would head over toward Mount Enterprise into southern Rusk County by about 8:11. Other cities that would be impacted by this would be New Summerfield, Reclaw, Cushing, Laneville, and Oak Flats. Now that would be the thunderstorm itself. The hail core inside the thunderstorm is going to have less of an impact on other cities around. Again, I'll widen all the way out here so I can show you Smith County. Smith County is kind of sitting, you can see the storm from Smith County, that's for sure. But right now there is nothing forming back to the northwest of Smith County. What I want to do is I'll walk us all the way through this. Again, we can see that large thunderstorm to our south, and Smith County is in the severe thunderstorm watch, as is, thunderstorm watch goes all the way up into Mount Pleasant, goes all the way up, in fact, to Red River County, all the way up to Texarkana. And that hail threat tonight, biggest is going to be in that red area from Jacksonville and Henderson, Longview, and Nacogdoches to the east. But I want to show you, here's Future Skycast. This is picking this up at 7:10, and this is even struggling, trying to pick up exactly how this is going to play out. But for the most part, that one cell that I'm showing you by 8 p.m. is probably moving in the Carthage area at that time. There are additional bigger thunderstorms that form, Palestine to Jacksonville to Henderson, Carthage, and Marshall. Longview would be on the northern extent of this, and so would Tyler and Athens. And as of this time, Gilmer, Jefferson, Mineola, if you saw rain earlier this morning, that might be it. This all congeals into a squall line of thunderstorms late tonight around 11 o'clock, and we have some gusty winds at Nacogdoches, San Augustine, Center, and then San Augustine, and then by 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., the storm is gone. And so it moves on out, and then tomorrow the sky would clear. Larry Wayne wanted to know when will it hit Smith County? Well, right now nothing's going to hit Smith County unless we get a few showers or thunderstorms. Hallsville at all? No, Rachel, I think Hallsville may be in the clear. We'll wait and see if we can get a thunderstorm to form. We may have to wait for Wednesday for more thunderstorms or additional thunderstorms to form. You have another threat of severe weather, by the way, in the middle part of the week. But otherwise, right now, what we're essentially tracking is just that one lone thunderstorm over western parts of Cherokee County at this time. And so that one is moving east at 30 miles an hour, but that's all we see. So it's out there on its environment by itself. It is just out ahead of the front, and the thunderstorms this morning may have pushed the front just a little farther to the south, or the best area of convergence a little farther to the south. But that's a pretty good looking healthy storm right now. In fact, the hail cores come up just a little bit again on it. Look at all that lightning with it moving into Jacksonville. I'll zoom all the way down to give us some street level tracking on this. So you got the lightning right now, and I need to move that lightning, turn that lightning size down just a little bit so that it's not overriding everything. But the lightning itself, turn it way down there. Toward Hume, that's where we have the hail core right now. And I'll go all the way into Jacksonville itself, and you're getting heavy rain currently at Brookside Drive, Martin Luther King Boulevard, Kickapoo Street, Sunset Avenue, South Bolton out to the west. Pineda looks like it's also getting some heavy rainfall. The thunderstorm is increasing at Hume right now. So again, I'll go back to this hail core because this is going to be the biggest threat that we have with this storm. And it's that one storm. Now look at that. Now we're talking about some golf ball sized hail, perhaps moving out of Ironton. Now I need some visual confirmation on it. This is radar indicated. It doesn't mean that we're actually seeing some golf ball sized hail. But if anybody lives in Ironton, and if you live in Jacksonville, I would certainly take the precautions to protect whatever could be damaged by hail. Do that right now. All right. Let me go through some of the questions again. We've got Tracy asking about Longview. What about Lake Palestine? Why this storm will not impact Lake Palestine. There is a chance for some showers and thunderstorms to move across Lake Palestine later on this evening. Likewise, at Longview, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms to move across those areas. But if you were watching and I showed you the in-house computer data, yeah, it has a few thunderstorms moving across, but the strongest storms may be in the southern part of the watch. The southern part of the watch extends basically from Cherokee County and Rusk County to Panola County and southward. Everywhere else gets some thunderstorms, but it looks like this area may have been able to bust the cap a little earlier, and so we've got some healthy thunderstorms right now in those areas. All right, let me go back through the questions again. I appreciate everybody watching here tonight. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday night. Lori's asking about Gun Barrel City. Gun Barrel City, I'm not sure if is Gun Barrel City in the watch. I mean, it might be in the watch, but there's not a whole lot. In fact, the front itself, I don't know if you can see this little squiggly line here that moves south of Dallas to about Canton. If nothing fires up at Gun Barrel City soon, you're not going to get anything for the night. It's all going to be, and I'll circle the area that I really think where all the action is going to be, kind of tell by the trajectory of the thunderstorms. It's essentially kind of in here. This is probably where the bulk of the activity is going to be. Not to say, as the front slides a little farther to the south, we couldn't have a couple cells pop up here. But, you know, Hallsville, there was a question in there about Hallsville. Maybe tough to get anything to fire up at Hallsville now. There were some computer models that suggested that we'd get some thunderstorms out in the Hallsville area and that those thunderstorms would then move into Louisiana. Looking at the radar data right now, that doesn't look like that's the play on these thunderstorms currently. We do have the severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Cherokee County. It's a very small area. Northern Cherokee County, the thunderstorm warning does not include the city of Rusk. It does include the city of Jacksonville. It does include the city of Summerfield. New Summerfield, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the hail core. I'm going to track the hail core for you. You can see just how ominous that looks. That looks like quarters, estimated at quarters to $half. Now, sometimes radar will overestimate the hail cores just a little bit. So we're going to track the hail core, not the time the thunderstorm gets to your house, but the hail core itself, moving through Jacksonville perhaps at 7:28, Mitty at about 7:34, Tecula right around 7:41, then New Summerfield at 7:53, Blackjack at 7:56, and Pleasant Grove at 8:13. So let's see. Yeah, Kay's saying, hope you don't lose any electricity tonight. Some of these storms have if you get into the hail core, you'll have quite a bit of lightning. But it looks like right now, you know, these are fairly isolated, though I believe they will become more clustered, and there will be more of the showers and thunderstorms the farther east these travel. So what I think is going to happen is that this thunderstorm here that has just popped up, this is going to start to spawn other thunderstorms. So we're going to get to a lot of begetting and begatting here with these thunderstorms, perhaps spawning other thunderstorms downstream. So we'll have one like around here, or one like pops off to the north, and that one moves up that way. And then there may be another one that we get a little outflow down here, and then alto goes. So not exactly that's how it could play out, but a possibility that we could see additional showers and thunderstorms forming around the area. Something interesting to point out here, look at this. Up in Gregg County, so you're talking about, and this is why we always say, when you hear thunder and you start counting, if you see lightning and you start counting, if you don't make it to 30 seconds, that lightning's too close. Look at that. There is a lightning strike 31 miles outside of that thunderstorm at Jacksonville. This is why thunderstorms can be so scary, and why sometimes baseball games, football games are halted. Sometimes sirens are sounded on golf courses. That is all because lightning can strike up to 30 miles outside of a thunderstorm, and we're getting proof of that right there with that lightning bolt in this middle part of Gregg County, even though there's no thunderstorm around. Sometimes you'll get a flash of lightning, and then a cell will start to pop up around that. But right now, this may just be a strike that is coincidental from this thunderstorm in the Jacksonville area. All right, let's see. I'm in Henderson County. Lori, I know I don't think Henderson County is going to see much in the way of anything now that we have these thunderstorms forming. Again, I can't rule out you won't see a shower along the main front or a thunderstorm along the main front. Did you see any rotation on the reflectivity radar? What I saw was, this question came to us from Aaron. What I saw was a three-body scatter strike, if you know what that is, or an artifact. So it looked like on reflectivity, yeah, there was a little extension, but when we look at it, there's a lot of hail inside of that. And so sometimes the radar beam can be sent in a false direction or a bad direction, or directed or reflected away to a different direction, to where it gives you the appearance that there is a hook echo forming. And that's what that looked like. That looked like a classic three-body scatter strike. All right, so waiting to hear anybody else getting some reports from the National Weather Service. They are, let's see, significant hail's about to come into Jacksonville. So if anybody lives in Jacksonville, they are also tracking that significant hail core that we were just looking at. So I'll go to this again, go back to the palette, go back to the hail tracker, and you can see that hail core is $0.50 to golf ball sized hail. I want to go to another source here, and sometimes we use this for what we call our debris tracker. But what am I going to do with this? I'm going to turn off the lightning, and we are going to look at those yellows and those greens. So there is the red would indicate, so what we're looking at here when we look at debris tracker, we are trying to sort different sizes and shapes of precipitation. In the red, where it's all the same, that would be rain. But it changes in here to yellows and greens, which would be indicative of ice. So there's a very good chance that in that area, we correlate that west of Jacksonville with the hail. And so the hail is right there. Severe thunderstorm warning again in Jacksonville. That goes until 7:30. That's essentially right there on that hail core. See that purple area there? That's going to cross right over the highway and continue into the city. So a larger hail core right now on that severe thunderstorm warned cell that is moving into Jacksonville. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning that we have. You know, we could, because we're getting a significant hail core coming into the city of Jacksonville, and there is some questions, and I'm seeing and Jay, if you can do this, can we get a hold of the hub and maybe just break in real quickly and kind of allay some fears that is not a tornado warning that people might be seeing on reflectivity. New severe thunderstorm warning now till 8:30. That is going to include more of, looks like now we're going to get that into southwestern parts of Rusk County. Cushing will be included in the severe thunderstorm warning. I'll go back to our palettes, and I want to check out our radar indicator. And again, that when we look at the reflectivity, we don't see anything anymore that was showing up or that was giving us that indication. So we can go to one cell here, and let's see. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning, Rusk, Cherokee, and Nacogdoches County. And, you know, there's a couple of quarters to golf ball sized hail in Jacksonville, according to Michael Searcy, the Rusk County, in Rusk County Emergency Management, and they are verifying that currently. So, again, there's a larger hail core coming into Jacksonville with some, as our radar indicated, with some golf ball to quarter to golf ball sized hail. Let me go back to the radar. Yes. We can break in for just a short period of time, anytime. Yeah, it just goes, the stinger would be great. Okay. We are breaking into CBS19, so we're going to take a little pause here, but I'll keep that radar up. Pea-sized hail in northwest Jacksonville from Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Should I go in and call in? Okay. Okay. Well, hi everyone. Just want to take a moment here on CBS 19. We are already streaming on our CBS 19 Plus channel and on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So I'll take just a couple of minutes here just to give you an idea of what we're doing over on those other platforms. So if you want to follow along, you can come on over to the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, or on CBS 19 Plus. But wanted to show you this hail core that is moving into Jacksonville right now. So we'll take a look at this full screen and just give you kind of an idea of what I've heard from some people in Jacksonville. Okay, so we got Aaron telling us about hail on the east side of Jacksonville, pea-sized hail in northwest Jacksonville, and also lots of marble-sized hail from Jennifer in Jacksonville right now. So that's the hail core that you're looking at, and we just had an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning, which I'll go over in just a second. But that hail core right now is showing and correlating with $half to golf ball sized hail. So that's damaging, potentially damaging hailstones moving across Highway 69 into Jacksonville, and then would continue to move out to the east. Let me track this for anyone out toward New Summerfield and Blackjack, because that's where this hail core is headed this evening. So we'll widen that out just a little bit. By the way, there's also a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Rusk County, the very northern tip of Nacogdoches County, and it looks like the eastern half of Cherokee County until 8:30. So here's the hail core, and that hail core is moving to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. And that would take it to New Summerfield about 7:47, Blackjack at 7:52, Pleasant Grove at 8:05, McKnight at 8:10, Price at 8:14, and 8:22 at Joinerville. Something else I want to point out here, I've seen some other folks talking about this. There's no hook echo with this storm, okay? So there's not a tornado warning on this storm. It is a severe thunderstorm warned. There was a moment in reflectivity mode where it looked like there might be a hook. But what's going on here is that as the radar beam comes out and it hits those hailstones, some of that energy is reflected back to the radar, but then some of it is misdirected or redirected down through the storm, and so it appears that you have a hook echo. That's called an artifact. So it's also called a three-body scatter strike. So this is a large, yes, it's a supercell. Yes, it has some rotation in it, but it is a large hail producer at this time. That's going to brush by Rusk, okay? So Rusk is not going to see much of the way of this storm as it moves northward. It's more about the lightning, it's more about the hail, and the amount of lightning in that cell tells us that there is a lot of ice also within that cell. So I'll do one other thing before we send it back to regular programming. Just want to give you, turn off the lightning, and we'll also turn off the storm track so you can see that, and then we'll go back to the hail tracker, and you can see the hail cores come down a little bit, and it looks like the cell has taken just a little bit of a right-hand turn over toward Gallatin, and it looks like it's going to just ride along Highway 79 and maybe, just maybe, miss New Summerfield. Okay, I want to do one other thing. I'm doing this live on air so I can just kind of correlate some of those little green dots in there. Okay, those are ice pellets, all right? So there's ice inside the storm, and then we go back to the hail to correlate that whole area together, and then we go back to radar reflectivity, and you can see how big that thunderstorm is. Overall, just one more track, and this is the whole cell itself moving east roughly 25 to 30 miles an hour right in here. And as it moves out 25 to 30 miles an hour, it's going to possibly move through the city of Henderson, not the hail core, but the thunderstorm could move through the city of Henderson. So lots of lightning, heavy downpours, maybe some gusty winds, and then over toward Anadarko, Laneville would also be impacted, Brockfield and Pine Hill. All right, again, we are tracking these storms on our CBS 19 Plus channel and on our YouTube channel. And so we're going to go back to regular programming until perhaps if we had a tornado warning, we'd break back in. But we're going to cover the storm for you over on those other platforms. And if you're not impacted by this storm, you have nothing to worry about right now. Yes, there is a tornado watch until 10 p.m. for Tyler and Longview, but this is it. This is the only cell out there. So we'll send everyone back to regular programming. We'll continue tracking those cell for anyone, this cell for anyone who wants to follow along. Again, on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook channel, our Facebook page, and on our CBS 19 Plus streaming platform. Have a safe night. We'll see you at 10 o'clock for an update on this forecast. All right, continuing the stream here on CBS 19 Plus. Appreciate everyone who's stuck with us as we were on air on CBS 19. Just wanted to clarify, I think there was some confusion over there. There was maybe some other reports of perhaps a hook echo, but that's just not the case. All right, so Lane replying to Miguel says that there is hail in Jacksonville by the Brookshire brothers, and we're trying to figure out how big the hail is. Some pea-sized hail east side of Jacksonville, now near 79 and the Loop. Aaron, thank you very much. Great report. This is what everybody needs. Penny-sized hail. Penny-sized hail will not damage cars. It's not going to dent cars, but it might be enough. What might be happening here is sometimes what we can also see inside the radar, it appears that there are large hailstones, but it may be almost like snowing hail to where the ground is covered in some pea-sized or marble-sized hail. So if that's also happening, let me know. I would not be shocked if this put down a decent hail track on that. Let's see. Justin wants to know about Elysian Fields, Texas. Right now, Elysian Fields is in the clear. I can't rule out we're starting to see a little thunderstorm trying to bubble up here back toward Texarkana. We may get a little growing line of thunderstorms back down here along Interstate 30 that would then move to the south and east. But the main energy, we get this one big thunderstorm that moves through Rusk County and into Panola County. That's going to pop a lot of the energy bubble, and then those thunderstorms will move down into that area. In addition to that, the best upper level wind support that we're seeing is now starting to move into Arkansas and Louisiana, so it's kind of outrunning these storms. So it's all about, really, it's just the energy in the atmosphere and what we call this huge lapse rate. So the temperature at the surface to the temperature aloft, such a great disparity that, and the hailstones or the clouds can grow so rapidly as we go up higher into the atmosphere that you can get these large hailstones that can, water droplet gets tossed up or lofted into the cloud, gets an ice ring on it, falls back down, the updraft's strong enough to throw it back up. And so because we have such a temperature disparity there, we're watching just fast growing, explosive thunderstorms, at least right here with this thunderstorm. This is the only one, again, that's occurring right now. All right, Lane Clark was asking how big, I think we had a report there of just some marble-sized hail. Samantha, does it look like the hail core is weakening? It did, yes. I think I saw your comment just before. It looks like it's, at least if it's not weakening, it is shrinking in size. So we go down here, and again, that hail core just kind of moved away from Jacksonville, but it does look like it's come back down to quarters, maybe a $half size. So appreciate that question, and appreciate you being very observant on those hail cells, or that hail core. Gallatin would be up next for that hail core to move on through there. All right, let me go back down again. We're trying to answer some questions on Facebook. I'm always happy to do that. And also, if you want to put a comment in on our YouTube channel, you can do that. We can always answer that for you a little bit later on. I can't, however, monitor that right now. And on CBS 19 Plus, we just appreciate you taking your time out here and watching. Again, one cell, if it was a tornado warning, we would be on air, but we can direct everybody over to CBS 19 Plus. That's one of the advantages to using your digital platforms. And we can just kind of, everybody else can enjoy programming who lives up, let's say, in Longview, up in Mount Pleasant, Tyler, way down to the southeast in, let's say, in Center and Carthage. There's nothing going on right now. This is the only thunderstorm cell we have. And again, it looks like in that last cell, or last scan, it weakened just a little bit more. All right, so we got Jennifer. Let's take this full screen again so we can show everybody. We've got Jennifer near East Side School in Jacksonville. It was pouring marble-sized hail for about 10 minutes. It's eased up some. Thank you very much. Great report, Jennifer. Perfect to know that. We have a lot of hail down here in Jacksonville, downtown. Edna, if there's a way, and same, Jennifer, same, if you can get a picture, please post that in the comments here on the Facebook page, or if you can do that, would you please email us those photos to weather@cbs19.tv or news@cbs19.tv. Haley wants to know how quick the storm is moving. It's moving essentially to the east-southeast about 30 miles an hour. So I'll put a new track on that for us because of that question, and that's a great question. I'm going to track just the hail core, then I'll add back in the rest of the thunderstorm so that we can see the other areas that would be impacted. But the hail core itself, Laneville could see that hail coming in. Mount Enterprise could also see the hail, and Mount Enterprise would experience the hail, again, quarters to maybe $0.50 at about 8:30. New Salem around 8:03, Anadarko around 8:12, Laneville about 8:21, Oak Flats just before 8:30, and then Mount Enterprise right around 8:30. So that hail core, now we'll add back in the rest of the signature of the thunderstorm. Very large thunderstorm. Look at all that lightning. I mean, we got a lot of ice inside that thunderstorm. It's now just beginning to move into parts of southern Rusk County, and it's moving eastward at about 30 miles an hour. Did we lose the severe thunderstorm warning on that? That's weird that I don't see it down there anymore. Let me see if we've lost one of the layers. There it is. Okay, so I thought we still had it going on till 8:30. And that is the northwestern half, or not northwestern half, northwestern sliver, believe it or not, of Nacogdoches County, and then the southwestern corner also of Rusk County, and then the northern half of Cherokee County. So those are the areas currently that have the severe thunderstorm warning in place. All right, I want to go back and add in so we can see the counties. It'll list the counties for us, and that's what we want to do. I'm going to pop those up so everybody can see that. All right, so this will recalibrate, and there you go. So Cherokee, Nacogdoches, Rusk County. Again, not all of Rusk County until 8:30. Jacksonville Loop and 79, rain and hail are easing up. Thank you, Aaron. Is Mineola going to remain quiet tonight for us? Ashley, there is a very good chance that Mineola doesn't see much more than maybe a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm as the front moves through. Let's see. Did we get another? Oops, so we had an update on that severe thunderstorm warning till 8:30 that looks like they just reissued. Is Marshall going to get hit tonight? And likely not. Marshall probably does not. I mean, I can't rule out you don't have a thunderstorm. We still have about 4 hours to go here. The severe thunderstorm watch for Marshall goes until 10 o'clock, so only about 2.5 more hours. Let's see. But nothing is popping up there right now. I'm going back through the questions, so just bear with me. I appreciate everybody's patience here, and I appreciate everybody who's tuned in to our live stream on CBS19 Plus and on the YouTube page, and of course here on our Facebook channel. All right, so just to give you perspective again, I'll widen things out. There is a storm moving toward Crockett right now, so that's the second thunderstorm that has popped up and been able to break through the warm layer of air aloft. So that warm layer, that nose, it almost looks like a nose, coming into Crockett, and it looks like it's kind of a strengthening thunderstorm also at this time. So let me just track that for the folks down in Crockett. It's moving east. Again, 25 to 30 miles an hour, so I'll put a 25-mile-an-hour track on this, and we can see that Crockett's about 8 o'clock, Kennard about 8:30 for that thunderstorm. So that is the other thunderstorm that we have, and I'll widen it all back out again, and we're just not seeing anything else firing up here. I'm going to put this quickly into motion, and we'll turn off, just want to turn off the lightning just so we can get a good idea of where it's going, and then you can see how the lightning, how the warning popped up there. But that's it. There's two cells. One right now that's moved back into Houston, or one that's moving into Houston County, another one that is about halfway through Cherokee County and moving into southern Rusk County. The little green area you see out here, this is really fascinating to talk about. That's the anvil. So the thunderstorm, the winds aloft are faster than the winds at the surface, so the winds aloft are shearing or pushing the clouds at the top of the thunderstorm out ahead of it. And so if you were outside right now, if you lived in Center, you'd see these high clouds streaming in. If you lived in Carthage, you'd see high clouds streaming toward you. If you were at Mount Enterprise, you'd see those high clouds just kind of streaming over top of you. And then if we'll go all the way in here. So the next place up, we got Laneville in the path of this thunderstorm. Looks like it's going to kind of brush by Cushing unless it makes a harder right turn. It's possible. Henderson looks like it may just get brushed by this. Looks like the thunderstorm's trying to spin off another shower or maybe another cluster of thunderstorms to the north. Let me pause this and put the lightning back on to see what we have going on. A lot of lightning still in the city of Jacksonville, but it did look like the hail core had come down a little bit. Great reports tonight from folks inside Jacksonville. In fact, that looks like that hail core has come back up between Rusk near Gallatin. So if anybody lives around Gallatin and can report. What about Maydale? Michelle, I think Maydale is going to be, unless there's a thunderstorm that fires up, I think Maydale is one of those areas that just kind of gets around this tonight. Ruth says, started out pea-sized, then got to tomato size near the tomato bowl area, or marble size. I think I said tomato size. Pea-sized, then got to marble size near tomato bowl. Ruth, thank you very much for that report. Let's see. It looks like, yeah, the hail is eased up and moved out of Jacksonville now. Probably some small hail in New Summerfield currently. Kay says, thanks for posting to Facebook. Absolutely. Yeah, if it makes it that much easier, we can easily do that. Brandon says he can see the top of the storm from Liberty City. Would not be surprised. Yeah, this one has just popped through the warm layer of air and that was kind of holding everything, suppressing everything today. And so, yeah, this is the classic supercell. Be great if you could take a picture and share that with us. Again, Brandon, if you could do that safely, take a picture of that top of that cloud, share that with us. I'll try to move. Let me see. I can probably go to a different source and maybe find a camera that we can see some of those thunderstorms. Perhaps from our own camera, we could see the top of the thunderstorm as it was moving through here. I'm just going to go to the next. There it is. In fact, it looks like we've gotten so much in the way of cloud cover on the back end of that thunderstorm that it's hard to see, make out exactly what we're looking at. Just to go over everything, we're at 81 degrees right now. Pretty humid out there with dew points in the mid-60s. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 10 o'clock for Van Zandt County, Henderson County, Gregg County. I'm not sure they will end these watches early. Definitely, this goes till 2 a.m. for Anderson County, Cherokee County, and Henderson County. In fact, I'm going to divide this out for you. So let's click on like Rusk County. So this is the area where the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 2 a.m. So that includes Cherokee County, that includes Rusk County, Panola County, Caddo Parish in Shreveport, Shelby, Sabine, San Augustine, and and Angelina. Okay, so that's that part of the watch. Then we come up here to Smith County, and we have Smith County, Gregg County. This goes until 10 o'clock, so another 2.5 hours. So almost, not quite. I mean, just looking at some of our high-res data, and I'll show this. The big threat tonight is some of that, the chance to see hen egg-sized hail. We saw close to that in Jacksonville, perhaps marble-sized, and reports of some golf ball-sized hail, or at least the potential for that. All right, so here we go with future Skycast. This has 740. It's still trying to form some thunderstorms back toward Emory and Mineola. And then by 8 o'clock, those are moving. And then we have a larger cluster. This will be key to see what happens down here around 9:30. I still think from Longview to the south toward Jacksonville and Carthage, we could see a larger area of thunderstorms form. If that's the case, perhaps less of a chance to see large hail, more of a chance to see some gusty winds. And really, once we get to about 11 o'clock tonight, and I'll just show you right in here, along this leading line right here, we could have some stronger wind gusts into Nacogdoches, down towards San Augustine, towards Center, and eventually into Hemphill. And then it's all over by 2 o'clock in the morning. So the thunderstorms move on out, and then tomorrow's a quiet day, Tuesday's a quiet day, and then we get back to Wednesday with another chance for some thunderstorms. So it looks like it's going to be a busy week. I know we need the rain. Kind of been dry this spring. Certainly don't need the severe weather to go along with that, for sure. All right, wide perspective of everything. Again, not seeing much of anything. The cap holding strong. Houston County just started thundering. Yes. Jessica, let me go down there to Houston County. You're seeing that thunderstorm coming in to the western side of Houston County right now near Porter Springs. And that is going to look toward Latexo and Grapeland. And that is going to move, this cell itself is going to move right into Crockett. So let's take a look at the hail cell on that. A little bit of hail, maybe some pea-sized hail currently. But we'll keep an eye on, see if that cell gets a little bit stronger. The timing on that it would be arriving into Crockett, and I'll track the center of the storm for you at 30 miles an hour. Ooh, I'll have to widen it out just a little bit, but about 8:14. So about a half hour till it arrives in Crockett. So if you need to get some deck furniture or deck cushions or something inside, or get something out, or a car parked in a carport underneath something just to keep it from getting damaged, that would be a great thing to do. All right, so there's another little shower trying to form west of Alto. Again, as we said, some of these could be spinning up some other showers or trying to form another shower. There's one near Troop, south of White House, shower trying to form right now. We'll see if that can grow into the thunderstorm. Sometimes one thunderstorm can start it all, and as cooler air flows out from those thunderstorms and the outflow encounters that warmer air, then you've got bigger thunderstorms that can form. Jessica says you just took down the flag. Good idea. Good idea. All right. Let's see. Look, I'm just kind of going through some of the questions. Dime to nickel sized hail. That was Aaron's report from Jacksonville a little while ago, but it looks like Jacksonville still has a thunderstorm ongoing. The back end of this storm is in Jacksonville, but look how big this is. I think Brandon was saying he could see it from Liberty City, so that's several miles away. I mean, you're talking about all the way up here toward Panola and Marshall and Longview, and folks can see it. We can see it from the TV station if I move the camera around a little bit, but it's a really large cell currently. So I'll go back and look at the hail core on that again. It may have popped up. It may have come back up. It's a pretty big hailer right now in southeast of Jacksonville in Gallatin. And if anybody's in Gallatin and can also share with us, it looks like large hail on Texas 204 and Farm to Market Road 22 East, just to the west of 110. So anybody that lives in that area, get ready for some half dollar to golf ball sized hail. Let me check with the Weather Service one more time and see what they're asking on what they're seeing. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning for those counties until 8:30, by the way. And that does include part of eastern Cherokee County. That's also going to be Rusk County, and then this northern little area near Cushing of Nacogdoches County. That's the only warning we have ongoing currently, and it's really because of that hail cell, or that hail core, and that potential to see some golf ball sized hail. Let's see. Weather Service was saying showing some rotation. Yes. Still not seeing tight, low-level rotation. Obviously watching for the aspect closely. Environment favors large hail and damaging winds more than tornadoes. Yeah, the potential's always there for a tornado. That's just it. And I'm seeing if they've got, the Weather Service is seeing if they've got anybody down in the Gallatin, Texas area. And if anybody knows of anybody in Gallatin and can give us a report, I'd share that with the Weather Service in terms of these hailstones or this hail core right over 204 right now, because those correlate with golf ball sized hail, at least estimated to be golf ball sized hail. In fact, I'll click here and let's see if we can get anything out of this. That's just the severe thunderstorm warning that it's still picking up on. Let me, hail size about 2 to 2.5 inches. So this would be one of those instances where we get those hen egg sized hail, and you talk about eggs. I mean, just if you went to a grocery store, that's what we're talking about, like the size of an egg that you would typically see at a grocery store. Sometimes we'll get comments about, well, you know, when you say egg size, what's the size of the egg? Ostrich egg? No, these are going to be, you know, typical 2-inch grocery store sized hailstones. So if we're getting them that large, and again, we have an estimate here on these bright purple areas of some hail sizes just in that ballpark, right around hen egg sized hail. Maybe, just maybe, we would also be getting some little bit smaller golf ball sized hail for sure in those purple areas. If we get any larger, then we're talking about some tennis ball sized hail. So destructive hail could be a possibility within this cell. So you got to remember that in the city of Gallatin. And it looks like it's moving from Gallatin toward 204 over toward New Salem just a little bit. New Salem would be also in the path of that cell. All right, so I'll go back out. Got a lot of lightning with that. My goodness, that cell is just producing a ton of lightning strikes right now In fact, let me see if I can get a lightning count on that. We have a lightning counter, and all right, I'll have to just do one thing for us. Let's widen it out. I want to see just how much lightning we have within this one thunderstorm that has passed through Dialville right now in New Summerfield toward New Mountain or Pleasant Grove. All right, so from the back end of this storm to the front end of this storm toward Glen Fawn, we're talking about 271 lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. So storm is really electric. It is really producing a lot of dangerous lightning as we speak. All right, I do want to also look inside our Titan indicator. That's going to be our cloud-shaped object there. All right, what are we looking at? Maximum hail size. This is going to be all estimated, almost up to tennis ball size, almost up to 3 inches. The probability of hail inside that cell is at 100%. The probability that it's at least a quarter size is 100%. The hail impact is almost to a 7, so it's a very high hail impact. And then, of course, we've got a lot of water loading in that storm, and so the flash flood impact is also very high with this cell currently. All right, so let's go back and look at the hail core again. We'll turn off the palette, and we've got that hail tracker, and there it is. All right, so Gallatin to Reclaw. So now Reclaw, if you are up next, you're looking at this cell moving kind of into the Reclaw area. We just had we had parts of this severe thunderstorm warning shaved off a little bit. Northwestern part Jacksonville has been dropped from the severe thunderstorm warning. Sheila wants to know about Palestine. Palestine saw the thunderstorm move by. Palestine's done for the night. Let's see. We got Tomato Bowl. Okay, we're just looking at this hail core here toward Rusk and Cushing. And I'll go back to velocity. Just want to check out storm relative velocity. Obviously the cell is rotating to produce this type of hailstones, but right now it's pretty broad rotation, and it is not going to be. There's always the possibility, but I don't see a tornado being produced within that cell right now. So Gallatin to Reclaw. Let's go back to the hail core. That's probably going to be the bigger threat here into Reclaw at New Summerfield. And the hail core itself is kind of drifting southeastward at 25 to 30 miles an hour. I'll say 30 just to give folks a little extra time. And what are we looking at then in terms of its movement? Let's see, you've got Reclaw at 8:03, so in about 9 minutes, that hail core should be arriving in Reclaw. Sackle at about 8:12, Cushing around 8:21. Again, $0.50 to perhaps some golf ball sized hail. So if you can see this right here, if you look at the purple and then go up here, $0.50 golf ball sized hail. But was a suggestion estimated inside it could be getting closer to some tennis ball sized hail. So I'll zoom all the way down onto that cell here. This is right now crossing over 110. This is near FM 2274 and County Road 1316, just to the northwest of Reclaw. South end of Lake Stryker. Michelle wants to know the south end of Lake Stryker. Okay, let me go back. I think Lake Stryker is not going to be so much. Well, let me see. You got to find Lake Stryker on the map here, because that's kind of near Reclaw. I'm going to go back in and put on the Titan. There we go. We got a lot of thunder, a lot of heavy rain and thunder coming down with that, and that's moved over toward Glen Fawn. It's arrived right now looks like it's arrived in Laneville, at least the early portion of it. All right, oops, I can make that smaller. Also want to make the lightning smaller so we can see it. 270 lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes on that cell. So it is a lightning producer, no doubt. All right, so Reclaw to News. Let's see here. I'm going to go over to see what the Weather Service was saying too. We're not getting any kind of confirmation on Gallatin community on hail sizes. So let me do a little more searching here. Just bear with me a second. I'm just double checking on a couple of locations. So yeah, all right. So that hail core, somebody was asking about the south end of Lake Stryker. So essentially kind of right in here, covered up by the thunderstorm. But now let's go back to the hail core and see if we can kind of pinpoint an area on Stryker. So it looks like this is going to be very close to Lake Stryker. Very, very, maybe it just brushes by to the south, the northern end of that hail core. If you can let me know what your, yes, Red, I think that is going to miss it in Longview. And I don't see anything forming right now up at Longview. This one cell is kind of dominating the whole day, the whole evening right now. It's just one big supercell currently. I'm keeping an eye on some other areas that possibly could see some redevelopment. For instance, you can see just that little shower forming in southeastern part of Smith County. But I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to see some cell merger between the storm in Crockett, the storm in Jacksonville, and then as these move over toward Nacogdoches, we're going to continue to see more or less just kind of more showers and thunderstorms centered over deep East Texas as opposed to Tyler and Athens and Longview and Marshall. I'm holding my breath on saying that Tyler is in the clear, probably from the severe weather. I mean, I don't see what else can get anything else going, because if I go a little bit higher out here, the front itself has made it to Tyler. I'm going to turn up the sensitivity on the radar just so I can see an idea of what we're looking at. So let me see if I can get a little better view. That's probably not the view I want to see. I'll point out something here so y'all can see what I'm looking at. So right here, that's the front, and so the front is essentially stretched out right here. So Texarkana, kind of down here. There might be a couple of showers trying to form right now on the front. So the front's kind of cutting across Smith County right now. That's why the severe thunderstorm watch for these northern counties went till 10 o'clock. In the southern counties, that goes until 2 a.m. because we have to clear all of those areas through the watch area. All right, so let me go back to my tracker. All right. Still essentially just two cells that we're working with. Crockett, the Houston County cell, unwarned right now, and this severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk County till 8:30. Okay, what about Tatum? Yadira, I think Tatum is going to be, let's see. You may get some rain. I don't want to say that you're not going to get any rain in Tatum, but this cell is not headed toward Tatum right now. It's tracking more or less east and then kind of turning a little bit to the southeast. But I say that, but you can see how additional showers and thunderstorms, or at least showers, are forming around it. See how we're getting outflow from the storm? And so as that outflow is occurring, and I'll run this back for you again, you'll see these other little showers starting to pop up toward Troop, back to behind the storm, back toward Jacksonville, and down toward Alto. So what I think is going to happen here now is we're going to end up seeing additional showers and thunderstorms kind of form all in this kind of area here. So yeah, so Tatum could get some rain or thunderstorms. The hail core itself, the thunderstorm warning, will not likely impact Tatum, but you probably will get some rain tonight, just because these showers and thunderstorms are going to continue to grow off of this one thunderstorm. And now that we are past sunset, we ought to be able to cool the atmosphere enough to continue to see that happening. But currently, we have that severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30, because this cell is moving roughly at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And it's really about the hail core. There it is. We're back to this hail core. This has really prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. That is south end of Lake Stryker, just near Reclaw, between Reclaw and New Salem. Brian Monroe wanted to know about Carthage. Let's see. Well, if this cell can hold together, let's see. The hail core is going to miss Carthage. The question is, will we see additional showers and thunderstorms that could impact, grow, and spread upward toward Carthage? Yes, it looks like that's a possibility. So I put that into motion. You can see how these other showers and maybe a few thunderstorms are beginning to develop and get a little bit larger. So Carthage is likely going to see some rain and thunderstorms tonight. The extent and severity of that thunderstorm is really tough to tell right now. There's a little bit of lightning that just popped off southeast of Troop. But again, the frontal boundary is making some progress to the south. All right. Scarlett, you are very welcome. Happy to do that. Longview lives in a vortex. We are usually lucky, meaning that in Longview you get all the thunderstorms that kind of get pulled into that vortex. Maybe, probably not tonight. Maybe the morning thunderstorms we saw this morning, sometimes this will happen. It'll force a boundary farther south, and then the showers and thunderstorms form on that outflow boundary and don't really form along the cold front as it's moving through. This one shower that popped, or thunderstorm that popped up in Anderson County, looked like it may have been on maybe an outflow boundary from earlier thunderstorms this morning. You remember the thunderstorms that moved across southern Smith County, northern Cherokee County, and then kind of fell apart and may have left behind sort of a focusing mechanism where those thunderstorms kind of fired, and now they're riding along that boundary tonight. Sandy wants to know about Athens, Texas. I'm going to say Athens is done for the night. I just don't see anything else forming back behind these thunderstorms. Is it headed toward Palestine or Athens? Neither. It's moving closer to Mount Enterprise, Cushing, Laneville. It's moving away from those areas. Okay, so the frontal boundary has moved, I think, almost south of both Athens and it's right now on Palestine. But nothing's popping up. Scarlett wants to know about Tyler. If we see anything, it may be a shower that, or maybe a thunderstorm. But I think the severe threat for Tyler, I'll call it. I think it's done. I think we're not going to see anything back this way. Zavala, different story. Zavala we still have some time in Zavala to see, I think, the cluster of showers and thunderstorms tonight. And let me go, let's see if I can go ahead down to this graphic here. I'm just going to skip ahead. So this is our future skycast. This started at 8 o'clock. And it shows a little bit of that. This is what I wanted to show you, the 9:30 time frame, where I think we start to see additional showers and thunderstorms that sort of are spread away from the thunderstorm that we saw now. And then that thunderstorm moves down into Nacogdoches County and into Shelby County. And so we get down towards Zavala very late tonight, about 1 to 2 a.m. I think you'll have a thunderstorm that'll move through there. Okay. Red wants to say, well, I'll just keep your thunderstorms away from Longview. I want to sleep tonight. I think you'll be okay, Red. I think you will be okay. Sonia Lyles wants to know how big the hailstones were inside. Now, it depends. If it's Gallatin, we'll see if we got anything in Gallatin. I'm going to zoom back in on that severe thunderstorm warning in Cherokee, Rusk, and Nacogdoches County. And when we do that, we will pop this on here in the hail tracker. And you can see, again, we're talking about some $50 to golf ball sized hail between New Salem and Reclaw. So that's a possibility that we're seeing hailstones that large. All right, let me check our radar. I mean, not our radar. I want to see if we're getting any other reports from on warnings or from the Weather Service. They did issue Rusk, Sabine till 2 a.m. They canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Rains County, so we're starting to see some counties coming off of this. But we're still keeping the thunderstorm watch for counties in deep East Texas. All right. And that one cell there at New Salem. Okay. Let me. All right, I'm going to go over here to the wall so we can see some of these thunderstorms here. All right, so what we're looking at here, I'll pop this up, and then we're going to open this back up again. Just want to be able to look at the thunderstorms here from Jacksonville. See how these thunderstorms are starting to pop in the eastern part of Smith County, and there's another one right there trying to form right down toward between Crockett, So if I zoom in on those thunderstorms, that's I'm tilting it. Zoom in on that. And this Titan indicator here still indicates that we have a fairly strong updraft. So there's a lot of air flowing into the storm right now. But the hail core itself is kind of centered around where we're seeing all that lightning. So I'll pull this back out. I do want to put the hail core back on, and you'll see here that hail core's come down just a little bit. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning, 8:30 tonight. This is southwestern Rusk County. This is northern Nacogdoches County. That's eastern parts of Cherokee County. So Jacksonville and Mount Selman, you're done. Rusk, you are done for the night. All right, so I might have to widen this out just a smidge so I can get a good feel for that cell. That's going to be 30 miles an hour, kind of in this direction. So where's that headed? Anadarko, 809, Glen Fawn, about the same time, so in about 2 minutes. Mount Enterprise in about 20 minutes. So that hail core is going to make it over to Mount Enterprise. If you live in Mount Enterprise, you have a chance to see some golf ball or $half sized hail. That's estimated by radar. We've had reports more so of pea to marbles and some quarter, or this is enough to cover the ground. So if it's covering the ground and you can safely take a picture, we'd love to see pictures if it looks like it snowed, just hail all across the ground. Love to see that. Dotson, 848, Timpson then at roughly 9 o'clock. That is, again, that hail core there as it moves eastward. All right, let's go back to our radars. And our radar source here is going to show that thunderstorm. I want to put this into motion for us real fast. I do not have the warning turned on right now, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for that little sliver of northwestern parts of Nacogdoches County and also for the southern part of Rusk County. Henderson, watch, this storm's kind of splitting a little bit, but we may see maybe a little thunderstorm that tries to form and move up into Gregg County. Right now it's just a shower, but when thunderstorms like this, they can, as air is going to get colder air that'll flow out from these thunderstorms. So what am I talking about? Well, as these thunderstorms are moving, there's air flowing out and away from them, right? So what is that doing? Well, it's acting like a little cold front. So the colder air from the top of the thunderstorm that gets pushed out at the surface and then deflected. All right, so that flows out, and what does it do? Well, it kicks up a little thunderstorm here. And you can see a couple of lightning strikes outside of the thunderstorm. So we may see additional thunderstorm development down into northern Nacogdoches County. We may see some lightning starting to strike up toward Carthage, over towards Center. So if that happens, it's not surprising because the computer modeling data is suggesting that this one cell is going to essentially kind of cluster up into or form some other showers. See if I can get this to go back. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Nope, that's not what I wanted either. All right, so I've got to pan that out. All right, that's all. That's all we have going on right now. Jefferson's quiet, Gilmer's quiet, Canton, Athens, Tyler, all quiet. The boundary itself appears as if I think the boundary may have, and it's not the true cold front, but the boundary looks like it may be kind of in this area here. It's kind of cutting across, so everything is on the boundary or south and east of that. So back here toward Gilmer, I'm waiting for those counties up north to get dropped. They did drop Rains County from the watch, so I would not be surprised if soon we get some other counties dropped. This is the only chance is if we can get some downscale growth downstream growth of the more thunderstorms currently up at Texarkana. There's a little thunderstorm, but other than that, boy, that thunderstorm is still now it looks like it could be pushing out a little bit of wind. Let me go and check out some of the wind on that. So we're going to just go straight storm relative on this. Again, there's a little bit of green next to red. I've not ever been concerned about the tornado aspect of this. Been more concerned about the hail aspect. I'm going to turn off the lightning. There's a lot of lightning within that cell. Severe thunderstorm warning again until 8:30 that's going to be Rusk and Cherokee County. All right, a couple questions have been coming in. We've got, let's see, Michelle said she had pea-sized hail on Lake Stryker. So great report. Thank you very much, Michelle, appreciate that. I'm going to turn off the lightning and look at that storm from its perspective of don't see any wind. It's all a hail. It's a hail event. It's just a hail core right now, and it's just moved over into Henderson County, and we have a new severe thunderstorm warning till 9:15 on that one cell, and that's going to move between Laneville and Cushing. So that purple area near Anadarko, as we've pointed out several times, the Anadarko part of that storm is going to see some golf ball to maybe some $50 to golf ball sized hail. Glen Fawn at Laneville and eventually over toward Mount Enterprise. Seeing lightning flashes southwest of Liberty City now. All right, just another question about Tyler. I think Tyler doesn't see much tonight. I think the show this morning was what we saw in Tyler, the thunderstorms that we saw there. That is about all we are going to get for the day. All right. Just kind of going through. I got to see a couple things here. Yeah. So we can see lightning flashes from Liberty City north of Longview, and that just kind of gives you an idea of the tops of this storm. Let me see if I can go to. I'm going to go to a different. This is putting the cell into motion. This is interesting to watch this because you can kind of start to see now how this thunderstorm is sort of forming some other showers and thunderstorms. We'll see if we get any other warnings off of that. And in Liberty City, you might actually be seeing that little cell that's kind of moving up into southern parts of Gregg County. So you might be able to see that. But I have this pointed to the south, so I'm looking for any kind of lightning up there. What I may do here is turn this around. Let's see if we can get a shot from our CBS19 studio camera looking, and this might be, I may have to switch this around, kind of look to a different direction. Oh, I'm not 100% sure, but we can take a break if we need to. Wants to extend it to. Yeah, we just had that other severe thunderstorm warning issued. I'm talking with the control room right now. I still have a lot of questions on folks wanting to know what time things are going to happen. So we may take a break to recalibrate some stuff, and then if we get some other additional showers and thunderstorms, we may pop back on here in just a little bit. But we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee, Nacogdoches, Panola, and Rusk County now, and that goes until 9:15. And again, on that cell, it's the hail and that looks like it's come down just a little bit, so that's good news. So we have that one hail core out of this whole thing tonight. Other than that, let's see. Brandon, can we go till 8:30 on this until we get the last, and then I can end this at 8:30. Okay, thank you very much. Just kind of seeing these other showers and thunderstorms forming. And in fact, we're getting a little thunderstorm now into the northwestern part of Rusk County toward Overton. So this is kind of what I expected to see, what would happen. That thunderstorm out there at Cushing now is starting to try to kick off some other showers and thunderstorms around the area. So we still have now the severe thunderstorm warning till 9:15. So looks like they've amended this severe thunderstorm warning. We've dropped, well, we still have the very eastern part of Cherokee County. Bullard, Tyler, you're in the clear. Jacksonville, even though you have a thunderstorm, you're not under any kind of warning right now. Rusk County, also not under any kind of warning. Garrison, this area here, there may be some gusty winds on the leading edge of that, starting to move into the southwestern part of Panola County. Eventually it's moving across northern Nacogdoches County, but Nacogdoches currently not under any threat of a thunderstorm. It looks like you can probably see quite a bit of lightning from your vantage point at Nacogdoches, but you're not going to see anything in terms of severe weather coming into those areas. All right, let's see. I need to kind of do something here. I'm going to start something back up. And let me see if we've got any other questions from folks that are still hanging out with us. Still got about 60 folks. So appreciate you all watching tonight and riding out the thunderstorms with us. Let's see. Jeanette asked about Tyler. I think Tyler is done unless we just kind of somehow get a shower that pops up around the original thunderstorm. Let's see. Will Pollock, Texas get anything? There's a chance Pollock, Texas could get a shower or a thunderstorm. It's going to be, I think, a little bit later tonight, so I would not let my guard down just yet. Now, how severe will it be? I don't know. The threat for the large hail was there, but it had to happen within a supercellular storm like we're seeing right now. So Pollock down in Angelina County is currently not seeing anything, but our computer modeling data suggests that what will happen, and not that it's been super for us today, but it did kind of indicate that we'd get a couple of thunderstorms over deep East Texas. So all of this area here could grow into more showers and thunderstorms and then kind of spread more, let's say, southeastward. So it's supposed to move down toward Sabine County by about 11 o'clock tonight, or maybe around midnight to 1 a.m. And then those thunderstorms would move on out of there. Longview, anything tonight? Matthew, I mean, unless this, I can't say, I'm not going to say, I don't think it's anything severe, but this little cell here might grow a little bit more upscale toward Longview and to where you'd have like a little thunderstorm. It is trying to move into that direction toward Lakeport and Longview. It's not very big. It's not a severe worn cell right now. So it does have, does it have a little rotation on it? Looks like it's kind of getting a little better organized. Is there any hail inside that? No. All right. So it's got a couple lightning strikes on it. It's gotten a little stronger as it's moved into Kilgore. So Kilgore's having some thunder and lightning right now. And from Liberty City, you're probably seeing the lightning in Kilgore. It's getting pretty close. But what you've been seeing mostly has been the thunderstorms that have been down toward Jacksonville and Rusk and down toward Cushing. And this has been what we've been tracking all night, that one cell that's right around Laneville. In fact, the hail core is coming back down. It's pulsed up and down. And it hasn't moved very fast. Let me put a new track on this for anyone who's just tuning in. Glen Fawn, so this is going to be over toward Mount Enterprise. I've been tracking it at about 30 miles an hour to give folks a little extra time, but it looks like it's more in the order of about 15 miles an hour on its speed. So that means it would put that into Laneville at 820, Mount Enterprise then roughly at about 834, which I think is one of the estimations we had earlier, and then Lawsonville about 845. So that's one cell. Again, sometimes we hear a report or we see a report or radar indicates one thing, and then we can't get any visual confirmation, or here's some pictures coming to the National Weather Service from, and let's see what they had a picture of some quarter ping pong ball sized, and that was 3 miles, they are south of FM 2420, 3 miles west of the dam. I think that's at Lake Stryker. So we were getting reports of some Lake Stryker hail also. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like there was some Lake Stryker hail that might have been close to golf ball sized hail. That was 3 miles west. And that's about all I'm seeing right now. So there's been some large hail on that one cell, but that has been about it. All right, so we're going to stay on for about 9 more minutes, and then we are going to break our stream here, and we'll get ready for our 10 o'clock news. But again, hopefully you've been watching on CBS19 Plus. Again, I've tried to, we have really a cell that's being impacted by this, and so instead of breaking into regular programming and interrupting because we don't have any tornado warnings, that's the thing. And I think that some folks were seeing things on reflectivity and thought perhaps that earlier that we might have some circulations or some hook echoes going on, but that just wasn't the case. It was just merely the hail causing some false readings on the radar coming back to some folks. All right, so we look here to the northwestern part of Rusk County. That little thunderstorm is brushing across southern Gregg County right now. This area, if you saw a Facebook post I shared out a couple hours ago, I thought it was going to be this area here. That's where the computer modeling data suggested everything would be for the rest of the night, and that certainly looks like the way things are playing out. I mean, we're an hour and a half away from the tornado watch that included Tyler and Longview from that expiring, and we're just not seeing anything. Pea-sized hail started to fall in Laneville. All right, so now Laneville's seeing some pea-sized hail. So hopefully that hail core is coming down. Still pretty good updraft on that storm from our Titan indicator. And I'll pop on that on and see. We've got some maximum hail size up to 3.5 inches. I think that we'll have to wait and see. We just got a report of some pea-sized. That would not correlate with 3.5-inch size hail, but let's see what we're seeing there. So the severe thunderstorm warning goes until 9:15, and again, that's going to be for the southwestern corner of Panola County, southern parts of Rusk County, and extreme northern Nacogdoches County. So if you have a weather radio, it might be telling you that you've got a severe thunderstorm warning in Nacogdoches County, but it's really just the very tip of the county. All right, hail size potentially up to quarter to $half sized hail. That could be a little bit smaller than that, but again, that's radar. Lightning area in Leverett's Chapel area. Yes, wouldn't be surprised. We've probably seen a lot of lightning now. Crockett, Monica wanted to know about Crockett. Let me go back down to the Crockett storm because there is the storm moving into Houston County that we've also been tracking as part of this larger one cluster. Looks like some other showers are trying to fill in behind that from Palestine down to Alto. I do think this whole area will kind of light up with thunderstorms here between now and 2 a.m. So while we're done, I don't think it rains at Gilmer. I think the severe threat for Jefferson and Marshall and Longview and Linden and Mineola and Canton and Athens is gone. So if you're listening to me on Facebook, and Tyler, I think it's done. I don't think there's any more severe weather threat. It's going to be those hailstones in that one cell down there, and maybe additional some wind threat in Panola, Shelby, Nacogdoches County later on tonight. So yeah, Matthew's asking about Longview. Anything tonight? Nope, I don't think so. I mean, you're going to see some lightning. It may rain in Longview, but I just don't think there's going to be much in the way of severe weather now tonight. Turning off the lightning, turning off the storm track. I'll throw this into motion so we can see the direction and movement. And it's kind of starting to grow upscale now toward Shreveport. I think that's why Shreveport was put in that watch. Any county here, you can see how it's kind of just all moving off in this direction. So we got several hours for showers and thunderstorms in Deep East Texas. All right, let me go to the watch. Anything changed in the watch? Nope, just Rains County dropped, Hopkins dropped. We'll wait. Maybe we'll get to 9 o'clock and see more counties dropped out of the watch area. Going back to looking outside, this is from our camera looking north. That's probably not going to see anything. Let me look at a different vantage point from our camera. I'll put the SFA camera on, see if there's anything that we can pick up there. I may have picked bad directions to look tonight. I was looking out to the south, and perhaps should have looked to the north or to the west. To the north a little bit. That's the Nacogdoches camera. We're going to spin this around for you and see if we can pick up anything. Should be able to see some of the cells south. The Tyler camera. I'm going to turn on the Tyler camera and look south. All right. Let's see if are we seeing anything out there. Not seeing anything. We're down to 78 here in Tyler. And the dew point still juicy in the mid 60s right now. So severe thunderstorm warning back to the top of this this coverage here for just a couple more minutes. We still have that one cell, Nacogdoches, Panola, Rusk County, that goes until 9:15. It's the southern half of Rusk County. We've got one supercell that has spawned some additional showers and thunderstorms, a little rotation being noted within that cell. That is not out of the ordinary with this. Let's go back there. The hail may have picked up a little bit. Nope, looks like the hail core is coming down. Let's check out storm relative velocity. There again, there's just a little bit of rotation, but some cells will rotate if they're producing hail. So let's see what we're getting here. Wind impact, tornado impact is very low. Wind impact is very low. The hail impact is the highest. The maximum hail size inside that looks to be like it could have been in the order of about some quarters to maybe ping pong ball sized hails. There have been some pictures shared with the National Weather Service of some of this bigger hail. If you can safely share a photo with us and you live in some of those areas that saw some hail tonight, we certainly would appreciate the time and the energy so that I can share those photos with everyone tonight on CBS19 News. Not sure if we're coming on right at 10 or we'll be a little bit late because of the NCAA Final Four Elite Eight, 10:30. So, by the way, we're coming on at 10:30. So we'll be on at 10:30, just a little bit late thanks to basketball. But by then we should have at least half of this severe thunderstorm watch that will be eliminated, and we'll still be tracking some thunderstorms into deep East Texas as the night turns into midnight and a little bit later than that. We'll wait and see exactly how this all kind of plays out. But we struggled. We fought against what we call the cap today, and I don't know if you were watching on Friday. I had some concerns about what we would see, where it would develop. We've kind of gone through this before, where we get outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center, and it's not a knock on the Storm Prediction Center by any means, but we'll get hail outlooks like something that came out today that would suggest that part of the area had a 30% chance to see large hail, and then environmental factors take over and the hail core just can't get going. In fact, it got changed. It got pushed all the way farther to the east now. This is just an update, and now it looks like the area in Tyler is not even in that hatched area anymore. So the hatched area would suggest that there's a chance to see some larger hail, right? And that looks like now that is dropped. That's going to be south in the area where we're currently seeing thunderstorms. There's still a chance to have maybe a low-end threat for some hailstones, but I think that's only for the very short-term picture. I'll widen this out just a little bit farther, and you can see really the bigger threat for the thunderstorms tonight has been pushed up into southeastern parts of Arkansas up toward Memphis at this time. So, okay. I am checking out some messages because I want to. All right. I've got some family members traveling through the Jonesboro, Arkansas area tonight, and there was a tornado warning for Jonesboro, but it has now pushed away, and so they were pausing their trip near West Memphis before they were going to head farther north. So that's a good plan by them to do that. Okay. Let me go back to our. Appreciate everybody's comments. We had a lot of interaction tonight. Looks like it's, yeah, Judy, it's going south of wherever you are. If you're in Tyler, it's going south. There's no, I think Tyler is pretty much. Okay, all right, it's 8:30. I'm gonna end this stream right now. So just one more quick update here. Severe thunderstorm warning till 9:15. That includes southern parts of Rusk County, northern Nacogdoches County, and you can see some additional thunderstorms that have fired up that are non-severe back toward Jacksonville at this time. One quick look at velocity on that. Not much seen in there. Again, it's going to be a hail. It's going to be a hailer that we have the bigger threat for. All right, I appreciate everybody watching tonight. Please, if you have any questions, continue to put those in our Facebook page. Thank you for watching on our CBS 19 Plus stream. We're always streaming with updates on weather here on CBS 19 Plus. You can always download the CBS 19 app. and that will alert you as to when we are streaming. And then, of course, on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe. You can share these feeds with anyone that you want to also get up to date on the weather. We're growing our community on the YouTube side of things. We're up about 47,000 subscribers. We really appreciate that. Would love to hit 50,000 before we got, let's say, to June. So we got a couple of months to do that. So please tell your friends about our YouTube channel, because we are doing live weather coverage. Sometimes not always on air, but we'll do those streams like this on different platforms like that. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at 10:30 after some of your favorite programs here on CBS 19.